Hello everybody and welcome to another video and what's likely to be the final video of 2022. This is also going to be the final battle report of 2022 and I thought what better way to see out the year by going back to the original and playing some Black Powder. So as you can see, they've just set up the board for essentially just a straight running battle between the Allies and the French. So there's going to be no real sort of special rules in this, apart from a few things that I will cover. Points are going to be awarded in this game for enemy units that are shaken and destroyed at the end of a game, and there's one bonus objective in the middle of the table that will give you some bonus points if you manage to take it. As always, when I'm playing Black Powder, I seem to be playing the French, so I'll roll through what I've got, and my opponent, as you can see, will have the British. Now, speaking of my opponent, we're bringing someone back for this one. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So we are having a back to basics, aren't we? Back to basics. Hayley wouldn't even consider being the French.
Absolutely not.
No, Hayley is determined to have the 95th Rifles, and we'll come on to where they are in a moment and what each of us have. Essentially, at the end of the game, which is 6 turns, and we're rolling for a 7th, at the end of the game, you get 2 points for each enemy unit that you've broken, that's left the board, 1 point for each enemy unit that is shaken, and this little bonus objective in the middle here, this is worth 3 victory points for the person who has the most battalions within 6 inches of it that aren't shaken. So it could make all the difference, really, that one. Basically, to win the game, for it not to be a draw, you need to win by at least 3 points. So you have to have a 3-point clearance. It's been a while.
Has been a while.
Has been a while, isn't it? And but we're gonna get stuck in. I'll go through the forces first of all. So we've both got 3 brigades. We've both got the same number of units. We haven't used any of the points values. We just put together the armies we wanted to play with. Over here, I have a brigade which contains 4 battalions of just straight up French line infantry, as well as a pair of cannons that are up on the hill. The cart is just there for, why not? Here we have Napoleon in the middle commanding things. We have an old guard, a guard brigade here. So we have 2 units of old guard. We have a cannon battery. And we also have a small unit of Mamelukes because I painted them and I want to see them on a table in a battle report. So that's why they're there. And then on this flank, I have another 2 units of French line infantry, some voltigeurs, and some chasseurs à cheval. There is an ambulance here, but it's not got any effect in the game. Thanks for that. Yep, I'm going to need that. Brilliant. And there's my brigade commander there. Battlefield, we have road that is just dividing the battlefield in 2, so all the bonuses for moving on a road and doing your commands will count. The hedges and walls count as obstacles, but apart from that, there isn't really anything else to say. Oh, except for the farmhouse over here, that counts obviously as a building in a built-up area. So let's go through Hayley's forces, and for all of those of you who are asking and wondering where they are, there they are. There is the 95th Rifles leading the attack up the road. Behind them is the 32nd Cornwall Regiment. So in this brigade, she has the 95th, the 32nd Cornwall Regiment. You probably can't see them, but she's deployed some cannons in the tree line just here.
I've got a pair of cannons as well.
You do. And on this side, we have the 42nd Highlanders and the 69th South Lincolnshire Unit. Brigade commander is on the hill behind. Wellington is chilling out behind the stables there. And then Hayley insisted on taking some heavy. So we have 2 units, we have the Scots Greys and Heavy Dragoons there. And then on this side, because they annoy me so much, we have 4 line battalions of Hanoverians and the rocket battery. I couldn't convince her not to take the rocket battery.
High hopes.
So, as you can see, straight up battle. We're going to roll to see who goes first. No messing around. We're just going to get stuck into it. And I'm looking forward to see what happens. It's been about a year since you've had a game.
Do we all know what's going to happen?
Do we all know what's going to happen? Yeah. Although we're playing during the day, so no drinking. So anyway, let's get stuck in. We'll roll to see who goes first. Okay, so we're going to roll to see who goes first. So we've gone back to basics. I am using the blue dice as all the other Black Powder games So I got a 4. Now Hayley is now been introduced because we're rolling in the tray. If it's out the tray,
apparently there's a new rolling rule. If it's not in the tray, it doesn't count.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you think that's going to help you or...
It just makes me feel a bit better about myself. And Hayley's not going to forgive me if I don't point out our little festive friend chilling out, literally, outside the barn. So anyway, I won the roll-off, so I think I will elect to first.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm going to go first.
Are you sure?
Okay, so that was a fairly successful orders phase for the French. I realised I forgot to say we haven't got any kind of special rules for the commanders. All the commanders on all sides have got a strategy rating of 8, and the commander just gives a reroll to a brigade officer within 12 inches. In terms of the movement, we've cut the movement for infantry down to 9 inches and the cavalry to 15. However, we have kept the weapon ranges the same because that's the rules that we've always played with, and it just seems to work for this size table. So just to run you through what's happened over here on my left flank, this all went really, really well. My skirmishers, my voltigeurs have taken up position in the little set of woods just there to hopefully counter the 95th. My 2 attack columns have moved up and taken position in the centre of the board, and the cavalry just trotted up in support. I tried then to do stuff over here on this side, and it failed, but essentially that unit just went forward. I should have done a brigade order and got them all to move, but I didn't, and that's my fault. So they're out on a limb, out there on their own. And in the middle, the old guard have moved forward, this unit moved forward, and then this one managed to get 3 orders off, move forward and form a line. Now, of course, they're already claiming that objective. However, I am a little bit concerned about all that heavy cavalry that could be coming. The Mamelukes have just moved up there. I did try to roll the cannons up to basically take position on the high ground, but they didn't, so I'm just going to be firing down there. So we just need to go into shooting, and I think we'll start with this brigade here, and we'll start with the voltigeurs who have got muskets. Hayley, can you see if they're within 18 inches of your 95th rifles, please?
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay, so my unit has 2 shooting dice. I have the sharpshooter rule, so I can re-roll one of those. Because they're the 95th rifles and they're skirmishers, they suffer a -1 because they're not a clear target. So I am rolling 2 dice, hitting on 5s. Come on, I want a nice early one. Oh, that's so I get to re-roll that. So 1 hit. Hayley, you have a single save of 4 to make. Oh, 1 casualty off the bat from the 95th rifles. Oh, no. It has been a while, hasn't it? We don't take casualties off in this one.
I'm rusty.
And we just add them on. So we've got that little guy at the front there. The attack columns get 1 dice to shoot with. I'm going to try and fire at your cannon that's lurking in the hedges there. So firing at deployed artillery is -1, and it's not a clear target. So that is -1 as well, I think. No, that's just -1 for that altogether. It's not cumulative. So very simply, I'm hitting on a 5. So 1 dice hitting on a 5 twice. That's a miss. And then the second one is a miss as well. So that lot didn't really do much good. Let's have a look at the old guard. Hayley, can you measure from here to see if they're within 18 of the 95th? I just want to get my old guard to shoot them if I can. Ooh, just.
There they are, yeah.
Yep, they are. Okay, so the old guard, I believe, get 4 dice on shooting. Yep, the old guard definitely get 4 dice on shooting. I'm firing at not a clear target, so I'm hitting on 5s. They are disordered, and 2 hits. Hayley, you need 2 saves of 4. No, 2 casualties. You're going to be taking a break test for the 95th. Could this be the one game where I actually get rid of them? They are disordered as well. Next, my cannons are going to fire down there at your heavy cavalry. Hayley, could you just measure the distance, please, for that?
It's 31.
And it's over half. So I'm going to get a single dice, and I'm going to be hitting on a 5. No. So, and I think over here, that unit's going to be out of range. Can we just see if the cannons on the hill over here, 48, if they're in range? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they are going to, so the cannons here are going to fire at the front Hanoverian unit. They are firing over the heads of their own men, and they are over half range, so I'm hitting on a 6. No. Okay, so that is the end of the French shooting phase. So the only thing that's left is for Hayley's 95th Rifles to take a break test. So Hayley, remember it's 2d6. You're -1 for the casualty that's over your stamina limit, and you're -1 for the disorder. So you're 2d6 -2. You want as high as you can get. So a result of 5. Oh, I just need to check what that means. Okay, so that is that the unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation. Obviously, you can't do that there. So basically, they're going to scarper off into the into the trees. So nah, because they've got to go 1 full move. So they'll go into there. Right, we'll get that sorted out, and then I'll sum up. Okay, so that's the end of French turn 1, and as you can see, this side of the board is going well. This side, I'm really, really concerned with. I think there's going to be a lot of firing lines appearing over there. Hayley, you ready for your first turn?
I am.
Excellent, let's get on with it. Right, so some things happened, didn't they? There has been some movement. So as you can see, the British line didn't suffer from the same sort of staggered approach as mine did. So should we go forward, Hayley? You started over here with your Hanoverians, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a brigade order for these guys. They just all did one big push.
Yep, and I think
I've
that's it. I've pre-measured, and unfortunately, I am within range of that front unit, so that's a bit annoying. So there we go. But then, is there a better sight than all those battalions coming over the hill? In the centre, you did what you did. You always manage to do this. You're the only person who manages to get cavalry actually working. Hayley's Inniskilling Dragoons charged the Old Guard, who did form a square, which I suppose it's not the end of the world because I am on the objective, but it's a little bit annoying because it just hampers my shooting. Over here, you tried to charge my skirmishers, didn't you? But
yeah,
you didn't get.
Quite work out
no, you didn't get the orders off. And then over here, what have you done?
I have these guys.
Yep, so they're the 32nd, what are they? They're the 32nd Cornwall Regiment.
We were hoping to form a line with them, but it didn't quite roll good enough.
No.
But they did shuffle forward.
But you have got the Highlanders out in line.
Out in action.
And then the 69th, so they could fit into that gap there, you formed a 4 deep line.
Yep.
Just there. And you did try, and well, you removed the disorder from the 95th with the elite special rule. However, you tried to rally them, and you failed. So it's shooting. So where do you want to start? Do you want to start over here, or do you want to start?
We'll start on this end of the board.
Okay, so we know that the only regiment in range is these guys here at the front. So you're going to get 3 dice. Now you are shooting through the cover, so they're not a clear target. Although I am in an attack column, so do you get a bonus? You do if you're artillery. Oh god, I forgot about the rocket as well. Oh, we'll have to deal with that in a minute. Right. You're going to get 3 dice hitting on 5s. Okay, so hitting on 5s. Or 1 hit, so I need a single save, normally of 4, but because I'm in an attack column, it goes up by 1, so I need a save of 3. Yep, single save. To finish with that brigade, you want to fire with the rocket?
Yes.
Right, I can't remember how far the rocket fires. 60 inches, so I think you...
That's to the neighbour's house, isn't it?
Yeah, that's into next door. So where would you like to shoot? I mean, do you want to just target that same?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the way that rockets work, if you guys remember, you roll a single dice. If you roll a 6, it hits. If not, you roll to see where it's veered off to. So Hayley, you need a 6. No, so now we roll to see what happens. So Hayley, roll the d6 again, and then we look on the chart.
This is the best part.
5. Let's have a look. Okay, the rocket veers out of control and lands some distance from its aiming point. Determine a random direction from the aiming point. This can be done by any convenient fashion. I have a dice. We find the easiest way, blah, 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 blah. And then roll another d6. Okay, so let's have a look at where it's going.
It's off to my right now.
Let's see where it's going. So it's going towards your cavalry. That would be great. Now you roll one more d6, Hayley, and we find out how far it goes. A 2.
Not too far.
Okay, it goes 6 inches. It just blows up over here somewhere. So that's fine. I can live with that. I can live with that. So Hanoverians, not overly effective, but that's fine. Getting warmed up. These guys don't have any shooting, so it's over to here. Now they're in columns, so they can't fire. So it's the Highlanders. Now this is going to be a bit rough for me. All the British line regiments have the first fire rule, which means they get 1 bonus dice the first time that they shoot. So you're going to get 4 dice. I'm not within 6 inches, I don't think. Yeah, that's not 6 inches.
It's way bigger.
Thanks for that. So you're hitting on 4s. You get 4 dice hitting on 4s. That's 3 hits. I need 3 saves of 3 because I'm in an attack column. All saved. And then, so next you've got your 4 deep line. Now 4 deep line shoot with 1 less dice, but they've got first fire. So that puts you up to standard. So you're firing with 3 dice and you're also hitting on 4s. That's just 1 hit. I need 1 save of 3. No, so just 1 casualty. I think that's the end of your shooting because your cannons can't shoot because the Highlanders are in the way. That is it. So there we go. That is the end of the first British turn. I'm going to try and get some hand-to-hand combat going on this side, I think. Anyway, let's go into the French turn 2. Okay, so a pretty successful French orders phase. Over here, my 2 line infantry battalions just used initiative orders to charge. They took some casualties from closing fire, and this unit was disordered on the way in, but hopefully I can tie them up, although the Highlanders are a bit better in close combat than me, so we'll have to see what happens here. I've decided, much to Hayley's suspicion, I'm holding both my cavalry units in reserve. This is only turn 2, so
Caution there, Martin.
I know. In the middle here, obviously they're still staying in square because the cavalry are there. This unit has moved over to give some fire. Unfortunately, they are blocking my cannons. Over here, I managed to do what I should have done to begin with, which is I got a brigade order off. My line battalions have moved into that field. And these ones should be able to give some fire. Over here, these cannons should be able to shoot as well. So, let's go into the shooting phase. I don't have any shooting over here, with the exception of my Voltigeurs, who are in a little bit of woodland here, who are going to fire at that column. My skirmishers have 2 dice to shoot with, and they're sharpshooters. There's no other bonuses, so they're hitting on 4s. Oh, I get to reroll 1 for sharpshooter. So 1 hit and they're disordered. Because you're in a march column, you're -2 to your save, Hayley. So you need to save a 6.
Let's see.
Oh, come on. Right, but you are disordered. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying. I'm going to go with this old guard unit shooting at the heavy dragoons. I'm going to get 4 dice. I am within 6 inches, so I'm going to be hitting on 3s. That's only 2 hits, so you need 2 saves of... I'm not even sure. No, so they have saves of 4 as well, so you're saving on 4s. Okay, so 1 save and 1 casualty. The square is going to fire at them as well. These 2 faces of the square are going to be able to shoot, so they're going to be hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits, 2 more saves of 4. 1 more, another casualty. Right, next we'll have a look over here. So if your unit was in range of mine, mine's definitely in range of yours. So I'm going to fire. I get 3 dice hitting on 4s. Oh, no hits. Hayley, can you check if this unit's in range, just within 18 inches from the centre of my unit? That tree is just there because of where the mouse chewed through the field.
Of course, the tree is not in the way.
From the centre? Yeah, they are. My poor tree.
It's in the way.
Right, just for that, there we go. So I need 3s to hit on this as well. Just 1, you need a single save of 4. No, 1 casualty on the Hanoverians. And then finally, the cannons at the back are going to fire at the Hanoverians. You're not within 24 inches, I don't think. Yeah, why not? I don't think you are. I think you're going to be just out. No, they're out.
No, just out.
Okay, so it's just a single dice. I'm firing over the heads of my men over half range. I'm hitting on a 6. Hey!
Oh, nice.
You need a single save of 6.
Oh, God. No
and you're
pressure.
disordered, yeah.
Oh.
So 1 guy's been taken out by a cannonball and you're disordered. Now, it's the hand-to-hand combat. Right, I'm just going to need a second while I go and work out all the hand-to-hand combat values. Okay, so we're going to start with this combat here with the Highlanders. I've charged. My line battalion gets 6 dice, and they charge, so they're hitting on 3s. Hayley's Highland battalion has the tough fighters rule, so they get to re-roll 1 miss, hitting on 4s. So they also have 6 dice. So 6 dice hitting on 3s for me. That is 5 hits. You have 6 dice hitting on 4s, Hayley. And you get to re-roll a miss. You got 4 hits.
Oh.
Okay, so I need 4 saves of 3 because I'm in an attack column. I've taken 1 casualty. Hayley, you need 5 saves of 4. 2, so you've taken 3 casualties. Right, we'll just resolve the combat. Okay, so the combat result for this is actually very simple. Hayley caused 1 casualty on my battalion. I caused 3 casualties on hers, so I have won the combat by 2. However, unlike Hail Caesar, that doesn't make a difference to the roll. So Hayley is just rolling 2d6 straight for losing the combat. You want nice and high. 6, let's just check. The unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation, at all times avoiding contact with the enemy. Once it is moved, the unit becomes disordered if not able to. If unable to comply, the unit makes 2 moves to its rear. If this enables it to reach a tenable position. Oh no, they're going to go into building. There we go. So they are, because they couldn't make a full move back, they are retreating into the building. However, I am very simply, I'm not going to advance. Should I pursue you into the building? Okay, so the Highlanders have scurried off to the safety of the barn. I am going to, as I'm victorious, I am going to just choose to change formation. So I am just going to form into line like that, so I can hopefully give some fire. And now we come on to this combat here. Now the French were disordered on their way in, so I lose my charging bonus basically. So I've got 6 dice hitting on 4s. Hayley's in 4 deep line, which minuses 1 off of her hand-to-hand value, so she has 5 dice hitting on 4s. Okay, I got 4 hits. So Hayley is looking for 4s. That's 2. Okay, so I need 2 saves of 3 for being in an attack column. No! I lost both. So 2 casualties for me. Hayley needs 4 saves of 4. Oh, don't believe it. I don't believe it. So just 1 casualty for Hayley. Right, let's get this worked out. Oh, this is going to be horrendous. Okay, so rather unbelievably, I lost that combat. By 1. Hayley did 2 casualties to me. I did 1 to her, so she's won the combat. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I did just look at the rules, if this unit can support. Decided that as they fought this turn, they can't support this combat. That may be wrong, but that's the way we're going to play it, because it seems to make sense to us. I'm rolling a break test because I'm disordered. I am -1. So they, I'm not going anywhere. We're going to stay there and fight again. So that's good. However, I am shaken, disordered, and everything bad. That is the end of the second French turn, and the battlefield combat is engaged over here. Over there is a big mass of men. So now we'll go into British turn 2. What was that?
Get my shaking ready.
So, what Hayley means by that is that she's just got...
Off,
it is all kicking off. Where do you want to start? You started with the Hanoverian.
Yeah, let's start this end again.
Right, so Hayley decided over here that you were going to do... no, you didn't do a brigade order, did you?
No, I didn't. I changed my mind.
So, as you can see, the lines of Hanoverians have moved up because Hayley worked out that if she was within 6 inches, she got a better chance to hit. So, those 3 line battalions have moved up. The rocket's just doing its thing at the back.
Big movements on the cavalry there.
Well, you charged because you could initiative charge, and I failed. I can't believe I failed with the old guard. My roll to go into square. I should say that we used a rule that you have to pass a order test to form square. That's from the Clash of Eagles book. We just find it makes it more fun because we just like the cavalry actually, getting in and doing something. So yeah, the old guard failed their roll, so there was no closing fire, and the cavalry have smashed into them. That unit's still in square. Ponsonby's just moved up behind. And then over here, that unit was disordered, so couldn't do anything. The Scots Greys got a charge off. Obviously, the skirmishers are here, so they could ignore those as they went past. And again, I failed to get into square, so I've taken a rather large cavalry attack to the rear. And Hayley wants me to point this out. She managed to rally the 95th Rifles, who are back in the game next turn.
Back in the game.
And of course, then this combat here is rolling on. However, I will just say that my chasseurs here are now eyeing up the Scots Greys. So there could be just all sorts of brutality heading in. And then the Highlanders are just in there doing their thing. So there we go. I should say as well, sorry, I meant to do this at the start. When we're playing games, because these are slightly smaller games, we're not using the broken brigades rule, which is where if half the units in the brigade are dead, then that brigade is essentially gone, because stuff would be gone by sort of turn 3. So we're not using that rule. My stuff would probably be gone. So we're into shooting. So where do you want to start? Most of your stuff is hand-to-hand combat. Funny thing is you would much more suit the French because you love hand-to-hand combat. So you should probably do the French next time.
What they want.
Right, so over here, these guys are going to get 3 dice hitting on threes. So hitting on threes. 2. I need 2 saves of 4. Yep, absolutely fine. The other unit has to shoot at them because they're the closest target. So 3 dice hitting on threes again. That's 2 hits. And 2 saves of 4 again.
Oh.
Save them all. The unit behind can't shoot. The rocket. The rocket has to go for the nearest target, which is going to be that unit again. So you're rolling 1 dice, and you're looking for a 6, Hayley.
Yes!
No! I don't believe it. Okay, so that unit is automatically disordered. It's a -2 to my save, so I need to save a 6 first of all.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, amazing. But I am automatically disordered, and I have a horrible feeling that it disorders everybody else nearby as well. Okay, so these units here will be, because they're within 3 inches of that unit, they will also be disordered on a roll of a 6. So Hayley, do you want to roll for this one? So on a roll of a 6, that's another disordered unit.
Oh, sorry.
And this line unit here on a 6. Oh, thank God for that. That could have been bad. Okay, but that's a pain. So that's all the shooting from the Hanoverians. There's no shooting here. There's no shooting over here at all because there's no target for the Highlanders because these are all in combat. The cannons can't fire because these are all in combat. And they're in column, so they can't shoot. So it's just hand-to-hand combat. Which hand-to-hand combat would you like to resolve first, Hayley? The ones over here or the cavalry?
Let's do the cavalry.
Do the cavalry, right. Right, okay, so we're going to work out the combat here with the heavy dragoons, the Inniskillen. So, Hayley gets 8 dice. She charged, so she is hitting on 3s. They also have the heavy cavalry rule, so that means that she gets to add 1 to her combat resolution. The Old Guard also have 8 dice. I'm hitting on 4s, and I have the tough fighters rule, which means that I can re-roll 1 miss. I've also got support from the cannons and from one of the units on my flank. So it's going to be brutal, Hayley. So do you want to go first? So you are hitting on 3s. Oh dear.
2, 3, 4.
4, so that's 50%. I'm hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. Oh dear, oh dear.
3.
I got 3 hits. So Hayley, you need 3 saves of 4.
2.
So you took 1 casualty, and I need 4 saves of 3 because the Old Guard are ace. So 2. So let's work this out. Okay, so Hayley caused 2 casualties on the old guard, so she gets 2 points. And she's heavy cavalry, so she gets +1, so she got a result of 3. I caused 1 casualty on the horses, and I'm supported from 2 sides, so it's 3 each. So it's just a draw. So that's it. So we will fight again in the next round. We played, because units who are shaken usually have to take a break test on draws. The way that we play it, or the way that I understand it and we interpret it, is that that's if you're shaken at the start of the combat and not as a result of the combat. So if this was next turn, then the cavalry would test. So this will go into the next turn. So which combat do you want to do now? The next load of dragoons. Okay, so in this combat here, the Scots Greys are going to get 8 dice hitting on 3s, whereas I am going to get 3 dice because I only put up to half my dice to an attack from the rear or the flank, and because I'm being attacked on the rear or the flank, I'm -1, so I'm hitting on 5s. So Hayley, 8 dice hitting on 3s. So 6. That's more like it.
There we go.
I'm hitting on 5s. 1. Okay, you need 1 save of 4. No, so 1 casualty, and I need 6 saves of 4. 2. That was actually quite a good roll. Okay, so I'm going to work this out again. Okay, so I took 2 casualties, which has now shaken my unit, and Hayley only took 1. There are no supports at all for this combat, because units that are already in combat can't support. So I lost a combat, so it's just 2d6 straight. 8, and that's going to go into the next turn, which is not what I wanted. And then we're on to the final combat over here, the one that's just trudging on. So Hayley, you're going to get 5 dice hitting on 4s. I'm going to get 6 dice, and I'm hitting on 5s because my unit is now shaken. So Hayley, is it your go? Do you want to go first? So you're hitting on 4s.
3.
3. Okay, and I have 6 dice hitting on 5s. Oh, 5. Hayley, you need 5 saves of 4.
3.
So 3, so you've taken 2 casualties. I need 3 saves of 3. Oh, I've taken 2. Right, this is definitely going to take some working out. Okay, so this was pretty brutal. So we both did 2 casualties to each other, which has put me 2 over my stamina limit. However, Hayley is supported by the Highlanders, who can support because they are still shaken, so they are supporting her. So she finished with a combat result of 3. So I lost the combat. As I'm 2 over my stamina value, that means I'm 2d6 minus 2 to my break test. 7 minus 2 is 5. So they are retreating. Okay, so the Swiss have retreated to here. Fortunately, that unit is shaken, so they can't follow up. Hayley, all your disorder comes off now. So the Cornish regiment, they lose it. And over here, the Hanoverians lose it. So there we go. It's all to play for at the moment. There are a lot of shaken units on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 so far on the board. 6. Let's go into the third French turn. Okay, so I'd like to say that all went to plan. Over here, my line battalions have engaged the Hanoverians in close combat, didn't take any casualties from closing fire, and my column has moved up in support. These guys have disordered, so couldn't do anything. This unit here, I've left them there to support the old guard in this ongoing combat with the dragoons. The cannons are obviously staying there to do their thing. Over here, I've moved the Voltigeurs around the objective, basically to try and counter what I think Hayley's going to do over here. On this side of the table, I made a disorderly retreat with the Swiss, and then my chasseurs have just basically smashed into the side of the Scots Greys in that combat. I'm not too worried about them because they're shaken. In fact, everyone's pretty much shaken on this table. So let's have a look at the shooting. So this unit here, they're disordered, but they can still shoot. So they're going to shoot that unit that's right in front of them. I get 3 dice hitting on 5s because I'm disordered, but because they're within 6 inches, I'm +1. So I've got 3 dice hitting on 4s. Hey, hitting on 4s. 2. Hayley, you need 2 saves of 4. Oh, come on. Cannons firing over the heads of their own men. Now you're within 24 inches. So I get 2 dice. I'm firing over the heads of my own men, so I'm -1. So I'm not over half range, so hitting on 5s. All 2 hits and a disorder. You need 2 saves of 6 because it's a cannon.
1.
1, so you have taken casualty and you're disordered. All the disorder. These guys can't do anything. There's no shooting over here. My Voltigeurs are going to fire with their 2 shots at your unit in column. I'm not within 6 inches, so I am hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1 for sharpshooter. Get to re-roll 1. Oh, 2 6s, you're disordered. You need 2 saves of 6 because you're in a column. 2 casualties and disordered again. And over here, I don't think there is any shooting. So it's just on to close combat, and I think... Let's start with the old guard combat here. So Hayley, you're going to get 8 dice for your dragoons. Your shaken knows you're -1, so you're going to get 8 dice hitting on 5s. I'm going to get 8 dice for the old guard, and I have tough fighters, but I'm hitting on 4s. The last round of combat was a draw, so there's no modifier for that. So I need 4s. Oh, that's really bad. I get to reroll 1 for tough fighters. 2. Hayley, got 8 dice hitting on 5s. 1, 2 as well. Okay, Hayley, you need 2 saves of 4. No, 2 casualties. I need 2 saves of 3. No. 2 casualties apiece. Right, let's do some working out. Okay, so as you can see, we've run out of casualty markers, so the gems have come out. I did 2 casualties on Hayley, plus I'm supported to my rear and to my flank, so I have a result of 4. Hayley did 2 casualties on me with no support, and she doesn't get a heavy cavalry bonus on turns that she didn't charge. So Hayley lost the combat. She's rolling 2d6 -2. They're gone. They're gone. The first unit to break are the dragoons, so they're off the table. Unfortunately, I can't capitalise on that because I'm shaken, so I'm just going to stand there like a plum. Right, so that's that unit being seen off. So there's no more hand-to-hand combat to do with that brigade, so we'll shift to this brigade. My unit that charged is going to get 6 dice hitting on 3s because they charge. Hayley's unit is going to get 6 dice hitting on 4s. That's not good. That's 2. You got 3. Okay, Hayley, you need 2 saves of 4. No, 2 casualties, and I need 3 saves of 4 as well. 2, so I took 1. Right, so I took a single casualty. Hayley took 2 casualties. I'm supported to my rear, so I got a result of 3, but Hayley is supported to her rear and to her flank. So it's 3 apiece, so that was an out-and-out draw. So that will just grind on into the next turn. Okay, so that one's going to go into the next round. So it's time to do the big combat over here. So, Hayley, you get to split your attack. So you got 8 dice. You can put up to half of them to the combat with the cavalry.
Yep.
And then the other half have to be against that unit in the front. You won the last round of combat. So you are going to be rolling +1. So you're hitting on 3s when you're attacking that unit up there.
Okay.
So how many dice do you want to attack?
We'll do 4 each.
4 each. Okay. I'm going to attack you. Chasseurs aren't that great. I'm going to get 6 dice from them and 3 dice from my unit at the back. So we'll do your dice first, just because there's less. So the 4 dice against the unit at the front are hitting on 3s.
3.
Okay, so you've got 3 hits. So if we pop those 3 dice over there, and then your 4 dice to the side against the cavalry are hitting on 4s. Oh, 4. Oh no. Okay, my 3 dice from my line battalion are hitting on 6s because they're being attacked to the rear and they're shaken. No, they all missed. And my 6 attacks from my cavalry are hitting on 3s. Only 3. Okay, so we might as well do yours first, Hayley. You need 3 saves of 4. 2, so you've taken 2 casualties. Okay, so I need 3 saves of 4 for my guys who have been hit in the back. Nice. All saved, and now I need 4 saves of 4 for my cavalry. 2 casualties. Right, we need to do some working out. Okay, so Hayley did 2 casualties and I did 2 casualties. There's no support at all whatsoever. However, That means it was a draw, but my unit was shaken at the start of combat, so my line battalion is taking a break test. So just 2d6. That's a 7. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to do. So they're going to hold their ground in the next turn. So it was a draw, so there won't be any bonuses for that. So that is the end of my turn. The disorder comes off of my units. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference, and we're at the halfway point, so it's Hayley's turn. Okay, so that was a fairly quick British orders phase. Hayley, you started over here, and you got them going. Where are they? The horrible little green.
I just tucked in behind here.
All right, okay, so Hayley's moved those over there. The 95th, who are going to, I imagine, shoot at my skirmishers.
Yep.
And then you managed to rally a casualty off the Highlanders, so they're no longer shaken. So next turn, could do something fairly big over there. Obviously, that's a one big mass combat. Nothing's happened there. Ponsonby's just moved up to help. And then over here, you unbelievably managed to get a charge off, didn't suffer any issues with the disordered unit. I rolled 3 1s on my closing fire, and you've just charged into me and smashed into me there. So it is time for shooting. So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the rocket? Or do you want to start?
Yeah, let's do a rocket.
So what's the nearest unit that isn't in combat? It would actually be that unit there.
Okay.
So you need 1 dice hitting on a 6. No, so now you roll a d6 and we find out what happens. 2. The rocket is a dud and doesn't fire or explode.
That's good news for both sides, I think.
Absolutely,
Could've been
absolutely.
worse in that
Well, it could have gone in
situation.
there. Everything would have ended up disordered.
Yeah.
There's nothing there to
Been like
shoot.
an ant's nest running around.
That'd be amazing. 95th rifles, I guess.
Yes.
Right, so you're going to shoot at my skirmishers, I take it. Okay, so you've got first fire, so you're going to get 3 dice. You're hitting on 3s because you're within 6, but you're -1 because I'm not a clear target, so I'm skirmishers. So you've got 3 dice, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. Oh, that wasn't great. I need 1 save of 4. Oh, yeah, and I saved. Oh dear. And you've lost the first one.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's it for the shooting. I think that is actually it, isn't it? There's nothing else. It's all one big load of combat.
These can't do anything.
There's no one to shoot at for them. So let's go
about
into
these?
the cannons. The cannons can't shoot anything either because of the combat. Right, which combat do you want to start with? It's your turn. You can choose. Do you want to start over there, or do you want
Let's
to?
start this end.
Okay, do you want to go with the one that your unit that charged?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to get 6 dice hitting on 3s. I'm going to get 6 dice hitting on 4s. Okay, you're hitting on 3s because you charged. 5. I'm hitting on 4s. 4. I need 5 saves of 4. Only 1. So I've taken 4 casualties. Hayley, you need 4 saves of 4. You've taken 3 casualties. Okay, so let's work this out. So Hayley, you've got a choice to make here. Do you want this unit to support them? Well, first of all, let's look at it. You did 4 casualties on me. I did 3 casualties on you. This unit is going to be supporting that one. So you've won either way. So it doesn't matter. You don't need them to support. Okay. You are now shaken because you had 2 casualties at the start. But I have lost the combat. I'm 1 over my stamina limit. So I'm 2d6 minus 1. That's a 5. That is going to be a retreat and then take a disorder. Hayley's just pointed out that my teddy bear fur mats might have mouse wee on them. So I mean, they have been eating the tail, which is why I've got these convenient holes for the trees. So it's this combat here. It was a draw last round. So Hayley, you get 6 dice hitting on 4s. I've got 6 dice hitting on 4s. Hayley got 4 hits. I did not. I got 2. So I need 4 saves of 4. So 1 casualty. Hayley, you need 2 saves of 4.
Oh.
No, you've taken 2 casualties. Okay. Okay, so Hayley dealt me 1 casualty, but she has support to the rear and to the flank for a total of 3. I've done 2 on her, and I have support to the rear for a total of 3.
3 all
So
again.
it's just grinding on, but you are now shaken as well in that combat. Okay, so this is the next combat. So Hayley, you've got 8 dice. How do you want to split it?
4-4 again.
4 and 4. Okay, so you won the last round of combat, so you're +1 again. So you're hitting on 3s against the line battalion.
1.
Just 1. Actually, just remembered Hayley was shaken, so Hayley, you're hitting on 5s against the cavalry.
1.
Just 1, okay. And I will get my attack. So I get 6 with my cavalry. I get 6 attacks hitting on 4s. That's 3. And with my line battalion, I get 3 attacks hitting on 6s. None. Okay, Hayley, so we'll just get your saves done first. You need 3 saves of 4.
Perfect.
Okay.
Saved.
My line battalion needs 1 save of 4, and my chasseurs need 1 save of 4. So for the line battalion, no. And for the chasseurs, no. Oh, I don't believe it.
Woo!
Okay, so very simply, Hayley did 2 casualties. I did no casualties, so Hayley's won the combat. So both my units are testing. The unit at the front is testing -1 because they're 1 over their stamina value. Come on. Yeah, they're gone. They're absolutely running. And my cavalry are testing straight up, no minuses. No!
Oh!
Oh, dear. Right, okay, so that's tipped things a little bit. Okay, so there we go. My attack on the left now is completely floundered. All I have left is my Swiss unit here. And obviously I've got the Mamelukes, but we'll have to see what happens there. So Hayley's kind of owns that side of the board. I've still got the centre, and it's anyone's game over here. So we'll go into French turn 4. Okay, so I'm going to try and get through the summary of what just happened without Hayley laughing.
Promise.
So,
anything.
I started with the old guard. The unit that's been in square for quite a while have now come out of square.
Woohoo!
And they are hopefully going to do some shooting against that line unit. This unit is shaken, and my guy has joined them, and he failed to remove that. So he didn't rally. No, the blunder came, Hayley, when I just decided with my Mamelukes to charge the 95th Rifles. However, I blundered, and because I'd already used my reroll, they got a rapid retreat, and they've just left the board. Because they have to go... Alright, they have to...
95th.
They have to go... Just the idea of charging the 95th was enough to make the Mamelukes turn around.
It should be enough for anyone.
Basically, they had to make 2 moves away from the nearest enemy they could see, which was the cavalry. So they can come back on, but while they're off the board, they count as a destroyed unit. Over here, all I could do was try and rally the Swiss. That commander joined them, and he did manage to rally them, so they are no longer shaken. Over here, I tried to charge and basically sort out the combat, and I failed. So it's a big load of failures, basically, for the French. However, we can get into some shooting. So first of all, we'll start here. My attack column is going to shoot at Hayley's Dragoons. I get 1 dice, and I am hitting on 4s. No. My sharpshooters are going to shoot at the 95th. They're going to get 2 dice. They're hitting on... They're -1 because they're not a clear target, the 95th, and I'm +1 because I'm within 6 inches. So I've got 2 dice hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1 for sharpshooter. Oh, so I get to re-roll 1, so they're disordered. So you need 1 save of 4. No, so they are shaken and disordered.
Again.
These guys can't fire. Oh no, the skirmishers can. So they can shoot. They're going to be at -1 because the skirmishers are in the way. Isn't it going to make them not a clear target? So I'm going to get 4 dice hitting on 5s. None.
Woohoo!
The only thing that can shoot over here is my disordered unit. Well, my cannons can. My disordered unit is going to shoot at the unit in front of them. They're -1 for being disordered, so it's but they're +1 for being within 6 inches. So they are hitting on 4s. Come on. 1 hit and they're disordered, so a save of 4. No, casualty and they're disordered. As that unit was already shaken and had taken a bunch of casualties in that combat, Hayley's going to have to take a break test with them at the end of a shooting phase. The only other thing left is my cannon, and my cannon will shoot at them as well. It's firing over the heads of its own men, so it's going to be 2 dice hitting on 5s. No. Okay, so that is the end of the shooting phase. So Hayley, you've got to make a break test for these guys. However, you've taken a whole load of casualties on here. So you have 2d6 -3 for the excess casualties and another -1 for the disorder. So you are 2d6 -4. So as high as you can. Yeah, no, they're gone. Okay, so that's it for the shooting. So let's go into the hand-to-hand combat. I reckon we'll start over here because I'm sort of winning on this side. That was a draw. Well, I say winning. That was a draw last time. So I'm going to get 6 dice hitting on 4s. Hayley's going to get 6 dice hitting on 5s because her unit is now shaken. Okay, I need 4s. 4. Hayley, you're looking for 5s. Just the 1.
1.
I need 1 save of 4. Yep, you need 4 saves of 4. 2, so you've taken 2 casualties. Okay, so Hayley has taken 2 casualties. And I'm supported to my rear, so I have a result of 3. Hayley did no casualties on me and had support to her rear and her flank for a result of 2, so I've won the combat. So Hayley's taken a break test at last. She has got 3 casualties over, so it's 2d6 -3 for her test. They are out of there.
What's going on?
Hanoverians are crumbling. Okay, so Hayley's now got a test for the 2 units that were supporting. There's no modifiers to this, so it's just 2d6 straight. So the first unit that was behind, they're fine. They don't care. They're going to use the bodies of their friends as clubs. And the unit to the flank.
Slipped off like Teflon.
Oh, just unbelievable. All right, so the Hanoverians are holding, annoyingly. That is it. There is no more combat. That's the end of French turn 4. We shall go into British turn 4. Okay, Hayley, so what went on?
So these guys didn't move because they're going to support these guys that charged.
Yep, they took they could casualty on the way in and they're disordered, but they did get it off.
Holding their own. The 95th are no longer disordered.
No.
But they're still shaken. The cavalry was moved out the way.
They basically made a retreat.
Retreat over this way. These guys are now in line.
Yes, they finally come forward to do something because they've still got their first fire, which is back there, so that could be costly. I mean, it's up to Hayley whether she shoots at the skirmishers or the old guard. That'll be up to her.
And then these are out of the building.
That's it.
Then these couldn't go anywhere. We tried to rally, but it didn't work.
It didn't work. So this is the state of play at the moment. A lot of consolidation on the board. Only one bit of close combat to sort out. So we'll do shooting. Hayley, where do you want to start?
Let's start this end.
What you want to start with? Do you want to start with this unit or do you want to start with the rocket?
Let's do the rocket first.
Okay, so the rocket's got to go for the closest.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to start here.
Start with them?
If wrong with the rocket, it could mess things up slightly.
So this is going to shoot at these guys here?
Yep.
Okay, they're not within 6, so it's going to be 3 dice hitting on 5s. Okay.
1.
That's 1 hit. I need a single save of 4. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Rocket into them. Yep. 6. 1 dice. You need a 6 to hit. No, but you roll a d6 again to see what happens.
Oh, no.
No, I think that's good. I think it's 1 it blows up in your face. Let's take a look. Yep, that's the one where we roll the direction and then see what happens. Okay, so let's see what direction it's going in. Oh, it's going back towards. Okay, so Hayley, roll a d6 again.
Up.
Another d6.
3.
3. It is. It's going 12 inches and will strike the first unit in the... Oh, no, it's hit them! It's going to hit my own men. No! Okay, so I need a single save of 6.
Oh, hang on. Let me claim it.
Yeah, why did you... Claiming the dice tray.
Yeah, I didn't think you needed it anymore.
Single save of 6. No, so I've taken another casualty. And it's automatically disordered me. Even though they're in close combat. I'm assuming that happens, even though they're in close combat. Otherwise, what's happening? But yes, now I need to test for them to see if they're disordered. Hayley, you roll for it. Well, they're already disordered. That doesn't matter. So roll a 6, and my other unit's disordered. No, but we've got to roll for your other unit that's there on a 6. They're disordered. No, so that's great.
Why did we roll for each other then?
I don't know. It just seemed to make sense.
Same result.
So that's now shaken me. That's annoying. Right, so that's the shooting over there. What's next? 95th?
Yes.
What are they going to do? They're going to shoot at the skirmishers?
These guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to get 2 dice this time. You're shaken, so you're -1, and you're shooting at skirmishers, which is -1. So you're hitting on 5. So it's 2 dice hitting on 5s, but you get to re-roll 1 for sharpshooter.
Ooh, terrible. 1.
Oh, they've disordered me as well. So I need a single save of 4. Saved, but they're disordered. 95th aren't exactly doing themselves proud this time, are they?
They're still here though.
Cornwall Regiment?
Yeah, they can.
So you've got a choice. They can either shoot at the skirmishers,
Yeah.
because the skirmishers aren't a clear target, you can ignore them in favour of the old guard behind, if you want.
I think we'll go for the old guard.
Okay, so it's first fire, so you're going to get 4 dice hitting on 4s.
2.
2. I need 2 saves of 3. 1, just 1 casualty. Who's next? Now, we did pre-measure. Your Highlanders are just in range of my unit here, so you're going to get 3 dice hitting on 4s.
None.
No, that's fine. Your 4 deep line unit at them as well, so you're going to get 2 dice for that hitting on 4s. No, hitting on 5s because they're shaken.
1.
1 hit. 1 save of 3 because I'm still in an attack column.
Yeah.
No! Oh, so they're shaken again. Okay, so it's just the time for the hand-to-hand combat. So it's this one over here. So, God, there's just going to be no... Hayley charged, which gives her +1. However, she's disordered, which gives her -1. So she's got 6 dice hitting on 4s. I get 6 dice hitting on 5s because I'm disordered and shaken. But they're not cumulative. So, Hayley, you're looking for 4s.
3.
3 hits from Hayley. I'm looking for 5s.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
3 hits from me
Nice.
as well. So, Hayley, you need 3 saves of 4. 1 casualty. I need 3 saves of 4 as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, all of it, but no casualties. So let's work out the combat results. So I did 1 casualty to Hayley, and I'm supported to my rear for 2 points. Hayley did no casualties to me, and she's supported to her flank for 1 point. So I've won the combat. So Hayley, you're just rolling a straight break test, 2d6, no modifiers. You want over a 4, 4 or less, and they go.
6.
6. That is going to be a retreat disorder, so it's going to be 1 move straight back. Okay, so that is the state of the battlefield at the end of the British turn. Hayley, your disorder is going to come off. Any disordered units. And now we're going to the French turn 5. Okay, so not a great French turn. Over here, my attack column was charged into Hayley's line battalion, took a casualty on the way in. Everything else is shaken or failed to move. I started with the Old Guard battalion by trying to bring on the Mamelukes and failed. And because I'd already used a reroll over there, that was it. So I couldn't even try and rally that unit, but this unit is still holding the objective, which I think is going to be a key for me. Over here, all that happened was I rallied this unit here, so they are no longer shaken. So we're straight into shooting. Basically, this unit is going to shoot at the unit that retreated. I'm shaken, so I'm at -1. So I'm going to have 3 dice hitting on 5s. Nope. My cannons at the back will fire over the heads of their own men and try and do the same. They're outside of 24, so it's going to be 1 dice hitting on a 6. Yep. Nope. Sharpshooters are going to, or the Voltigeurs, sorry, going to fire at the 95th. I'm -1 for shooting at skirmishers, but +1 because I'm within 6 inches. And -1 for being disordered, so I'm going to get 2 dice hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1. Oh, ooh, that's disordered them again. So you need 1 save of 4 for the 95th. Yes! So they're going to be taking a break test. My old guard are going to fire at the Cornish regiment because the other lot are in the way. I'm going to lose -1 on that, so I'm hitting on 5s. 2 hits, you need 2 saves of 4. Oh dear. They can't shoot. So this unit here is just going to fire 1 shot again at that unit opposite. So I'm hitting on a 4. Oh. I don't know if that was really a roll. Kind of just, I'll roll that again. That wasn't really a roll. There we go. So it's a hit. So you're saving on a 4.
1.
Yep. 1 casualty. Oh, that might have tipped them over to a break test. Fantastic. So there's the casualty. Well, he will go with them if they break. We have to see. So let's start with the 95th. I want to... actually, no, let's save them till last. Let's start with these guys. It's 2d6. They're 1 over, so it's 2d6 -1. So yeah, they're not going anywhere. Right, so the same with the 95th. Now, the 95th are -2 because they're 1 over their stamina limit and they are disordered as well. So it's 2d6 -2. Come on. 6. So that's going to be a retreat. So they're going to have to go away from the nearest enemy. So they're going to be going back down the road. So they're going they're going to go that way.
9, is it?
9. Yep. So Hayley's finished her break test. So it's just on to the hand-to-hand combat over here. So my attack column gets 6 attacks. It's charged. So I get 6 attacks hitting on 3s. Hayley is going to have 6 attacks hitting on 4s. 5. You're hitting on 4s. That's 3. Okay, Hayley, you need 5 saves of 4. Ooh, just the 1. You've taken 4 casualties. And I need 3 saves of 3 because I am in an attack column. 2 casualties. Okay, so Hayley did 2 casualties on me. I did 3 casualties on her, and I'm supported to that side, so I have won the combat. Both units are shaken, and Hayley is 2 over her stamina limit now. So, Hayley, you're 2d6 -2 on your break test. And they're gone as well. The Hanoverians are going. Okay, so I can't really do anything other than stay there because I'm shaken. So, well, to be honest, what I will do is I will go into line. And that is it. So, my disorder now comes off. And we're into the penultimate British turn. Okay, Hayley, so talk us through what the British and the Allies did.
Okay, so they've moved forward.
Yep, so you got the Highlanders out and they formed a line because you're just going to try and push me back, I think.
Yep. These guys are no longer rallied and they're no longer shaken. I can't remember what we did with these.
No, you just left those there to put the pain on me.
The cavalry aren't shaken anymore.
No, that concerns me because that means in your last turn you could pull a cavalry charge off.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't. 95th, they're disordered and shaken.
Yeah, they couldn't remove that.
Didn't rally that very well.
Nope.
Keeping these guys where they are.
Well, basically, Hayley's realised that all of my units here are shaken, so she's only got to put 1 casualty on them to cause them to take a break test, and it wasn't worth the risk with the closing fire. So, it's over to shooting. So where would you like to start?
I think we'll start this time.
You want to start over here?
Yep.
Okay, so we know that the foot unit in 4 deep line is in range. So you're going to get 1 dice, and it's just going to be hitting on a 4.
3.
No? Okay, Highlanders, are you going to fire... Now, it's up to you, because the Old Guard aren't a clear target for them, so you can either shoot at the Old Guard, or you can shoot at this unit here.
Oh, go then.
Okay, so it's going to be 3
Actually,
dice.
what are they? Are they quite
They're on
healthy?
2. No, you just got to put two casualties on. So
Okay.
hitting on 2. 3 dice hitting on 4s.
I liked hitting on 2s better. 2.
2, and you've disordered me. I need 2 saves of 4. No, 3 because I'm in an attack column. So 1 casualty, so I'm shaken again and disordered. Okay, these guys here, are you going to ignore the skirmishes and shoot the old
Yes.
guard? Okay, so 3 dice hitting on 4s.
None.
That's fine. That's
Can I
absolutely
get a
fine.
reroll from anywhere?
No. Just, can I get a reroll?
Can I get a reroll?
The 95th can shoot at the old guard because you ignore commanders, so
Yes,
they can
sure.
shoot. You're going to be -1 because you're shaken. So you've got 2 dice hitting on 5s. Oh, you disordered them. I don't believe it. No. 2 saves of 3 for me because it's the old guard. Oh, I have 1 casualty and I'm disordered. Now it's over here. Do you want to do the rocket first or do you want to do the Hanoverians?
We'll do the Hanoverians first.
So they have to fire at this unit here. It's 3 dice hitting on 4s. 1 hit, a single save of 4, or it's a break test for me.
Oh,
There we
like
go.
the seat of your pants.
So the rocket. Now these 2 units are equal distance. So which one do you want to shoot?
This one.
Okay, so you're looking for a single dice hitting on a 6. Oh, so now you roll a
That's
d6 to find out what happens.
5.
5. So it's going to be deviating. So roll that deviation. Roll it again.
What does that mean?
That in Warhammer 40,000 that meant something else, but that dice is from.
Could it mean everyone dies in this one?
I think they're going to die anyway.
And again,
Can you
see?
stop rolling that?
Oh. And again, I'm not doing it on purpose.
Right. Okay. So it's going to go back that way. Now roll a d6. 5. It's going to go 18 inches and go off there somewhere. So. That is the end of the shooting phase. I have no break test to take, thankfully. And there's no hand-to-hand combat. So now it is the French turn 6. Okay, so it was a bit of a slim affair over here for the French. The only thing that moved for me was this battalion has moved up to try and get rid of either the 95th or the Dragoons. Over here, I managed to rally a casualty off of this unit, so they're no longer shaken. I tried to bring the Mamelukes on because again, thanks. It was a bit gamey, but I thought that will deny Hayley 2 points rather than the 1 point if I rally them. And I failed, and then I failed the reroll as well. Over here, I did manage to rally a casualty off of my unit there. So, it's just into shooting. I have no combat. Basically, I've got to hold that objective. That's what I've got to do and hope that Hayley's shooting is ineffective. So, shooting. I'm going to start over here. So, I'm going to shoot Hayley's battalion. I'm going to get 3 dice hitting on 5s because I'm shaken. Oh, 3 hits, 3 saves of 4, and you're disordered. 2 casualties, and you're disordered. Okay, so they're taking a break test. Whatever this unit are going to get stuck into them as well with 3 dice hitting on 5s. 1 hit, 1 save of 4. Yes. Yep. My cannons at the back again over the heads of their own men, like they have been all game. They're going to be hitting on a 6.
No.
Oh, so single save of 6.
Save a 6.
Save of 6. Yeah, it's a cannonball. Oh, she did it.
Can you believe it?
There we go. This unit here, I'm going to fire at the 95th because those ones aren't a clear target. No, I hate them.
I hate them.
So 3 dice, they're not a clear target, so I'm hitting on 5. 1 hit, 1 save of 4, Hayley.
Sorry.
No, so they're going to be taking a break test as well.
For the love of God.
My skirmishers are going to fire at the Cornish regiment, so that's 2 dice hitting on 3s because they're within 6 inches, re-rolling 1. Don't need 2, you need 2 saves of 4. 1 casualty, so they're shaken now. My old guard unit are going to fire at that unit as well, so they get 4 dice hitting on 5s. 2 hits, they're disordered as well now, so 2 hits, 2 saves of 4. 1 more casualty, so they're taking a break test as well. And then finally over here, 1 dice into the Highlanders. I'm disordered, so I'm hitting on a 5. No, that's a miss. We've got some break tests to do, Hayley. So, starting the Hanoverians over there. They're 1 over their stamina limit. So, you are going to be 2d6 minus 1 for that, and then minus 1 for disorder. So, 2d6 minus 2.
As high as I can.
As high as you can.
Nice.
That's a 5. All that is another retreat. So, there's just going to be 1 move. But all they're doing is going directly to the other side of the wall. Now, the 95th Rifles, they're 1 over their stamina limit. So, it's just 2d6 minus 1 on them. Come on. At last.
Okay. I mean,
so they are gone. So the 95th Rifles at last are gone. And then we need to roll for these guys here. We might as well roll for them now. Right. So now it's a Cornwall Regiment. They're minus 1 because they're 1 over their stamina limit and minus 1 for being disordered. So 2d6 minus 2. Oh, 5. That's a retreat. So that's a 1 move backwards. I think they're pretty much going to be at the hedge line. Right, there we go. That is the end of the French turn. So remember, we'll go into the British turn, and after that we're rolling to see if we go into a turn 7. Right, Hayley's been very, very tricky. Right, so should we go through what you've done here? The Highlanders formed a 4-deep line and charged the old guard, and my closing fire did nothing. You've then moved to 69th up into support. You rallied a casualty off of these guys, so that got rid of another point for me. You charged my skirmishers, who got a successful evade. Well, actually, no, that's not true. They failed their command roll, but you always get at least 1 move if you do that. So that's driven me off, but you've held there instead. Mainly because you're contesting the objective. And then over there, you rallied a casualty off of them. Is that about right?
Sums it up, yeah.
Right. Where do you want to start shooting-wise? Obviously, we've got the rocket.
Yeah,
we've got
let's do this simple one at this end.
Yeah, so you want to start with the disordered unit?
Yeah.
Okay, so they are disordered, so they're minus 1. So they are hitting on, because they're going to shoot these guys here.
Yeah. So
they are hitting on 5s, 3 dice. That's disordered, so 1 save of 4. Oh. No! Oh no, that's going to be a break test. Okay, so what next? A rocket?
Yeah, why not?
So which one of the 2 units are you going to go for? So this unit's already taken a break test.
Yeah, so what does that mean?
Well, it just means that if you put another casualty on them, there'll be more minuses. But if you put a single casualty on them, they'll be taking a break test as well.
I'll go for these guys on this side.
Okay, that's a single roll of 6. No, so roll the d6 again. I really hope you roll a 1.
6.
No, okay, so you roll the direction. Oh, it's going to hit it. Right, okay, now roll a d6.
4.
4, it's going to strike the first unit in its path up to 12 inches, which is going to be these guys. Again, so that is going to be a single save of 6 for me. Yay, they saved. So next shooting is really, it's just that Cornwall Regiment at the back who could shoot at these guys.
Yeah, why not?
You're only going to get half, so it's going to be minus 1, minus 2, so you've got 3 dice hitting on 6s.
Oh, no. 1.
Well, 1, so that's a disorder, and I saved. So now it's just close combat, and there is only 1 close combat to sort out. Is the Highlanders. Now, you're in 4 deep lines, that's minus 1 to your dice. So you're going to get 5 dice. But Highlanders have got the ferocious charge rule, which means you get to re-roll all failed misses, not just 1. So you've got 5 dice hitting on 3s. I have 8 dice hitting on 4s. Right, so it's the old guard against the Highlanders. So Hayley first, you're hitting on 3s, and you can re-roll all misses.
5 dice.
Yep. So those 2, roll both of those.
Yep.
5 hits, right? I am hitting on 4s, and I get to re-roll 1 for tough fighters. So I got 5. So 5. So Hayley, you need 5 saves of 4. 3. So you've taken 3 casualties. I need 5 saves of 3. And I have taken 2 casualties. Okay, so let's work this out. I did 3 casualties on Hayley. And I have... Oh, am I... No! I'm not close enough to support. So my result is 3. Hayley did 2 casualties on me, but she's got a unit in support because you can only have 1 support to the rear.
Yeah.
So that's 3 as well. So it is a draw on there. So that is it for that turn. Oh, you need a shaking counter for the Highlanders. They did their job well. That is it for the end of it. Now we're rolling to see if we're going to go into a turn 7. Go on in, Hayley. 4, 5 or 6. We play turn 7. That's it then. That is the end of the battle, and what a game, a bloody game. We're going to go away and work out the points, and we'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so we've been through everything, and I destroyed 5 of Hayley's units, which gives me 10 points, and she only has 1 shaken unit on the battlefield, which is 11. Now, we've just had a look, and this is contested and nobody owns it. So if you remember at the start, we said all units within 6 inches that weren't shaken counted. So I've got my old guard unit here and I've got my battalion there. This unit is within 6, but it's shaken, and my Voltigeurs, because they were forced to run away, are now outside of 6. So I have 2 units. Hayley has 3 units that are there, but one of them is shaken. So it was 2 and 2. So nobody owns the objective. So I finished on 11 points. Hayley destroyed 3 of my units for, well, she destroyed 2 and one of them just ran off for a total of 6 points. But, so that's 6, but 7, 8, 9. So it was 11-9. If you remember, we said there had to be 3 points in the difference. So it is a draw. And a very, very bloody one at that. So, so there we go. But, yeah, what a game.
Yeah, I think a deserved draw.
Yeah,
I think it could have gone either way.
I mean, I don't really think anybody's going to be... I think these are all... Both these armies are going to be going... Sort of licking their wounds.
Both got some really good hits in.
I think because... Sorry,
there was some points, so I think we were both unlucky that the other unit survived the shooting. So I think it's a well-deserved draw. So
do I. I mean, it was... What I did like, because obviously we deployed everything on the board at the start... And that's just so, obviously, you know, we could get into the fighting, you know, quite quickly. But by turn 3, I'm pretty sure I nearly ran out of shaking counters. And that's never happened before. So by sort of turns 4 and 5, we were trying to rally so much just to deny someone that win. But it was great fun. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this battle report. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know there's been a lot of... requests for more black powder and for Hayley as well. So she came back especially for this, for the last battle report of the year. Thank you so much as well for all of the viewing, not just this year, but you know, over the last couple of years as well. I do really appreciate it. There will be more black powder coming. We're also going to be trying out Soldiers of Napoleon as well. I might be able to convince Hayley to join it. We will have to. We'll have to see. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for a great year of gaming, and I will see you all for a battle report or an update video in 2023. I think the only thing left to say is Merry Christmas,
and a Happy New Year.
Brilliant, and we will see you guys all again soon. Take care. Bye bye.